Hello everyone! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I get to show you some new stuff from our holiday catalog today and I just can't wait. This is what I came up with. As soon as I saw the Expressions Thinlits and this Pretty Print Textured Impressions embossing folder, I knew I had to get them, and I had a vague idea of what I wanted to do. And then this came together and I'm just so pleased with this project. I can't wait to show you guys how to make it. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you the bits and pieces that we used. I used a piece of basic black cardstock and I punched it out using the label punch. And then I ran it through my Textured Impressions embossing folder. And I'm actually going to go ahead and use the Illuminate stamp pad and a Stampin' Sponge. And I'm just going to kind of shimmer it up just a little bit. It doesn't have to be all wacky and wild with the shimmer, just a little bit. So you'll just dab it in and then just kind of sponge it on a little bit. And I don't know how well that's coming across on camera, but when you do it, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and you're going to use the Positively Chevron stamp. Look how awesome that thing is. And just ink it up really well in the Illuminate stamp pad. And then you're just going to take your basic black piece, get that cardstock on top of it, and then just start rubbing the cardstock over top of it. And if you'd like, which I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper . Just let it dry, set it aside for a little bit. You're also going to use a piece of vellum, and this is cut, and I've already embossed it. This is cut at 3 1/2 by 4 1/2 inches. And you're going to send it through your Pretty Print Textured Impressions embossing folder through your Big Shot, and put on the left edge on the back, put a strip of sticky strip on it, because you're going to attach that to your basic black piece. But set that aside as well. You're also going to use a piece of brushed silver cardstock, and this is cut at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. And the next thing I'm going to use is my Expressions Thinlit, the Love, which I guess you see it better that way. Alright, so you're going to use the Love Expressions Thinlit die and a piece of silver glimmer paper. And what I'm going to do is take a piece of the multi-purpose adhesive sheets. I'm just going to cut it down to fit this piece right here. And this is just a scrap piece, so that's why it's got that little corner out of it. Just ignore it. Don't pay any attention to that. What I'm going to do is remove the top sheet of the adhesive, and I'm going to set the glimmer piece over top of it. Alright, and then I'm going to take the Love and place that on there the way I want it to cut out. Okay, then you're going to take your top sheet again and put it back on. You're going to take your magnetic platform. You're going to have one acrylic, put that on top. Then I go ahead and put the other piece, acrylic on top, and run it through your Big Shot. So remove that top sheet again, pop everything out a little bit. You're going to have these little pieces that are going to pop out of the Love. Alright, so if you look closely, there are these little holes. Right there, you got one there, you got one there, got one there, got one there, and there. And you're just going to kind of lightly press through those holes with your paper piercing tool so that it separates the piece as much as possible from the Thinlit. Alright, and then you can just take your paper piercing tool and sort of run it along the back of that. And that should separate it from the Thinlit. Ta-da! Now you've got a nice little sticky Love. And what you're going to do, I put some dimensionals on the back of that piece, but don't know, can you see? Yeah, you can see that it's a little shimmery. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to position your love piece on top of that piece. Now there are going to be little sections of this love piece that aren't going to stick down because it's over top of an embossed surface, so it's not going to fully stick to the whole piece. But if you give it a nice press, you should be able to get enough of it stuck to it that it won't lift back up. Mine hasn't yet. Fingers crossed that it continues not to. But there you go. That is how you would use the expressions and be able to adhere them to your projects. I think that's the best. I think it's the easiest instead of using glue or adhesive and trying to just hope for the best. This is the best way I've found thus far. And if you all find a better way, please let me know. I'm happy to hear from you about it. So now I'm using one retired item and one current item. I'm using the retired two-tone ribbon. This was from last year's holiday catalog. And I'm using a piece of basic black taffeta ribbon. And what I'm going to do, what I've already done, is just taken a little bit of it and I've tied it into a knot. What I'm going to do now, since this is probably dry, is adhere these two pieces together. Okay. And I'm also taking, because I don't have them, I'm actually going to order them in my next order. I don't have the new candy dots and the companion brads to go with them, so I'm using some old Neutrals collection brads. I'm using 2 basic gray brads and 2 basic black brads. Alright, so you're going to poke one hole here, and you're going to put your basic black brad in first, and then you'll figure out where the basic gray one should go and poke a hole and pop one of those through, and you're going to do the same to the bottom. Alright, and that's how that should look. Cute? And those are on the right side in case you didn't notice the difference. Alright, so then you're going to want to position this. So just sort of position the knot where you want it. So I forgot to tell you that the compromise to not having the two-tone ribbon is that you can use the basic black chevron ribbon that's new in the annual catalog. So go ahead and get a spool of that and use that instead of the two-tone. Or if you have the two-tone, go ahead and use the two-tone while you still got it. But the chevron ribbon is a compromise. I just don't have it right now, but I intend to get some because I think I'm going to make this project with my stamp club. And then what you're going to do is, using some Scotch tape, you're just going to tape these down around the back. And that's the front. Alright, and so then you're going to go ahead and just adhere this to your brushed silver piece. Okay. And then you're going to just go ahead and pop this piece on with dimensionals. There you go. That's all there is to it. It's pretty easy, and I love it. I think I'm calling this Masculine Love because it's a very masculine card.